Best cardio workout for MMA or grappling. And when you're talking about cardio, I'm understanding what he's trying to say here is basically, how can I get a better gas tank for MMA or grappling? And you know, with cardiovascular training, whether it be for aerobic capacity, whether it be for cardiac output, so on and so forth, there's several different energy systems that go with a combat sport. And that really is dependent upon the type of sport it is, the type of duration, and the type of athlete you have. And I could break that down and have a whole seminar based on that. But the general consensus is going to be aerobic power, fast switch capacity training, anaerobic and alactic power and capacity is what you're going to be aiming for when you're talking about energy systems for combat sports. So my go-tos for these particular energy systems of training, or whether you want to call it modalities of training, the aerobic power is primarily going to put you at a higher level of your VO2 max, or your highest level of aerobic energy that you can put out. And so for that, I like to do assault bike intervals. I also like to do, sparring is primarily where you're going to be at in those particular places too as well, especially if you have an athlete that is very elite and is efficient. They're going to get up to those higher levels of their VO2 max, but they won't go too far into the threshold zones, or they won't go too far into lactic, because they know how to efficiently move, they know how to pace themselves. And so for that, it's a good way to work on your aerobic power through those time frames. And again, when you're talking about aerobic power, you want to make sure that everything that you do stays somewhat in that range of your VO2 max, okay? So assault bike intervals and sparring for those particular energy systems training. Fast switch capacity training. Now that's basically building up mitochondria in the fast twitch fibers, and that's building up the aerobic capacity in the fast twitch fibers, or the bigger fibers, right? So I do like to do some type of sled marching or belt squat grappling. So basically you get into a belt squat and you're gonna be doing some type of grappling exchange while you are in the belt squat. So you got constant tension on your hips and on your legs, but you're also, you know, basically pummeling and fighting for underhooks with your partner. If you can't do that, or you don't have the means to a belt squat, I obviously like to work a lot with the sleds. So sled dragging with a partner, again, grappling, fighting for underhooks, so on and so forth there too as well. All right, so for anaerobic, alactic power and capacity, prowler sprints are always good because it's not difficult to do. It's simple to set up. The athlete doesn't have to think so much, and they can produce a large amount of output and a large amount of intensity and effort into a straight sprint with a prowler. And depending on if you're going to go for power or capacity is dependent upon your rest period. So an incomplete rest is going to be more towards capacity. A full rest is going to give you more power, right? And you can work your anaerobic or your alactic power work with your, whether it be Olympic lifting or whether it be just a speed strength with bands, accommodated resistance. So for the goal, when it comes down to increasing this, I like to utilize prowlers, heavy bag training, speed strength work, so that's bands, accommodated resistance, so we like to do dynamic effort with that. And you're going to do that with a shorter rest period for capacity training and a little bit longer rest period for power training, all right? And again, I have other videos on my YouTube channel that can go over more detail and kind of show you guys exactly how we do it on my YouTube channel. So check it out, Daru Strong. You can go ahead and search it.